Am I the asshole for predetermining my baby's sex? Sorry if the title isn't great. I had a hard time coming up with something that would make sense. Hopefully it does and it's not misleading. Okay, to start, me, 27 female, and my husband, 28 male, have been married for 4 years. His parents, his mother specifically, and I have never had any problems, but we've never quite meshed or seen eye to eye. We've always gotten along and been civil. Our future family has been the talk for years. My husband will be the last of his siblings to have children. All of his siblings have at least one. It's been a running joke in the family that if our first happens to be a girl, she won't be accepted because everyone else had a boy as a firstborn. The joke has never quite sat right with me, but I've laughed it off because I don't want to start anything and maybe I'm just being sensitive. Fast forward to a few months ago when we started trying. It took about 3 months for me to get pregnant. We tracked my cycle and had scheduled sex for the best chance. Infertility runs in my family, and my hubby and I agreed on a big family, so I've been worried about starting a family so late in the game. When I did get pregnant, we were overjoyed. We had all the typical couple conversations that come with having a baby, the excitement, names, nursery themes, gender predictions, etc. He talked about wanting a son first so he could be the big, strong leader for all his younger siblings and carry on the family name, a very big deal to him instilled by his parents. I expressed my desire to have a little girl that I could dress up and match with. It became a playful banter. He'd refer to the baby as son, and I would call the baby our daughter. About a week before our gender scan, I searched up all the old wives' tales and made us a chart we could fill out together to see who would hypothetically win our little bet. It included the ring test, Chinese horoscope, heartbeat, cravings, etc. The results ended up being about 50-50 in the end, which made us even more excited to find out for certain at our scan. The following week, we went to our appointment and discovered that our baby was a girl.
Ooh!
We were both extremely excited. Hubby was disappointed to lose, but told me he was overjoyed to be raising a daughter by my side. That night, we called our families to share the news. After calling his family, his mother asked to speak to him privately. I went to bed all alone as their conversation carried on for well over an hour. The following morning, I woke up alone. There was a note on my husband's nightstand explaining that someone would be by the house to pick up his belongings later this evening. I immediately tried to call him, only to realize he had blocked my number. I then tried his mom. His mother picked up on the first ring. Before I had the chance to get a word in, she started chewing me out, calling me a manipulative bitch. I asked her what I had done, and she told me I'd ruined her son's reputation with my inexcusable behaviors and tendencies. I let her finish her rant before kindly asking her what the fuck she was talking about. She told me the divorce papers were already written up and I wouldn't have the chance to tear apart the family like I had been intending to do all this time. I again, slightly less kindly this time, asked her what the fuck she was talking about. To which she told me my husband would be leaving me because our child is a girl. I was gobsmacked. I explained to her that it takes 2 to tango, and there's no way to truly decide the gender of the baby. And if her or her son had a problem with the gender, it was his fault, as it's his chromosome that determines the gender. But she had proof that I'd, quote, handpicked to have a girl. Like I said before, we used a calendar to determine which days would be best for sex. Well, mother-in-law accused me of forcing him to do it with me on the specific day, which the Chinese horoscope would point to a girl. She also interrogated me on the sex position we used to conceive the baby.
Oh my God.
Which I gave her a piece of my mind.
Please.
Told her that it was none of her business, but she smugly informed me my husband had already told her, and the position we used makes it 60% more likely to have a girl that way. If anyone's currently trying for a girl, specifically doing cowgirl, sometime in the middle of February should do the trick every time, apparently. She finished off by telling me that my clear preference for my family name was disgusting, and she was glad to be finally rid of me and my manipulative ways before hanging up. I've had no contact with my husband since, and it's been over a month. He's blocked me on everything. I can't help but feel that this hasn't been all his choice. But then again, he's a grown-ass adult, so I can't imagine his mother controlling him like that. I've been staying with my sister since it all went down. She says I can stay as long as I need, but I'm thinking I want to get my own place, maybe even a few states away. What do I do? Should I pack up and move on? Should I continue trying to contact my husband? Any advice would be appreciated.
I don't know how to say this kindly, but that guy and his family are the most unhinged. I've never heard of any like fuckery. I don't even know what else to call it. What is that? What is that? What is that logic?
I do not know. This was, I'm going to search real quick just to make sure it's not on any other subreddits.
Yeah.
This one was actually posted on the Too Hot Takes subreddit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, I just, first of all.
And I don't know if it's on anything else. So I don't know if it was a repost and they copy and pasted it.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing it on Too Hot Takes. That's it. So
wow.
Unless I'm missing a link somewhere, this is an original Too Hot Takes post.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
Speaking from the position of the firstborn female in my dad's family in terms of like grandchildren, my family was over the moon.
Like so excited.
Just everyone was so excited. Well, okay, that's a lie. So I wasn't. I was the second, but there's some family dynamic as to why I was like
the real first.
Not the real first, but like the first one people got to meet.
Okay.
There's
some trauma.
There was some stuff going on. Drama. So no one met the first, but until later. Anyway, I think that that's so offensive, regardless of anything else. Holy shit. You should be, her history, I have so many feelings about this post because she touches on so many things. She touches on the fact that her family, there's a struggle of infertility. So first and foremost, you should be so happy to have been able to conceive a child regardless of the sex. And the fact that you're with somebody who can walk away so easily from you and your unborn baby and your family because of the sex of that baby. I don't care if this woman did some witchcraft and she Googled that if she does cowgirl in the middle of February, then she's guaranteed a girl. I don't give a fuck.
No.
She was able to conceive a child and that is your baby. And the fact that you can turn your back on that.
Abandon your child.
Because your reputation is tarnished because I'm sorry, you should feel so special that your firstborn is a girl.
I hate gender reveals.
Period.
Watching those videos of the dads stomp off and pout, you're pathetic. You are a fucking pathetic man and you don't deserve that child for acting like that. And the other little girls, like there was a dad that had 3 girls looking up at him and he pouts, throws the bat or whatever it was. And it's like,
that's sickening.
What do your little girls think? That they're not wanted because they're a girl? Like, fuck you. I'm wondering what the culture is because...
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Like, I know in some Hispanic households, like they take their mom's last name. There's something where...
Sometimes you hyphen it, but
I've seen a lot of hyphenating. Are there any cultures where you get the... in Spain, a mother's surname is used as the real surname, and a father's surname is a sort of middle name for children. But there's a couple cultures where I have seen or heard about people, they take their mom's last name. So I'm wondering, but then I'm like, okay, do girls take the mom's last name and then boys take the dad's last name? And that's why he's so pressed about it.
I feel like that would have been added for context. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's such an important factor here. That's such a key detail. And even not that makes it right. I wouldn't be like, oh, in that case, I would still be like, grow the fuck up because this is life and this is nature and this is biology. So I know cultures have their cultural traditions and everything like that, but you can't play God and you can't predetermine the sex of your baby. They're talking crazy out of their ass that some position and some time of the month guaranteed some outcome with the baby's sex. I don't buy into that.
No.
I don't.
The only way to determine the baby's sex beforehand is to do in vitro, and you know what that baby is, that little petri dish, embryo, fucking fertilized egg. You know what that is in the dish before you implant it. That's the only way. Like Chrissy Teigen knew, I have one embryo left on ice. It's a boy. If it works, I have a boy. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the only way you know. And there's even people like there's a lot of people that have problems with that, where they're kind of like, oh, you're getting to like kind of eugenics-y vibes, where you're going to start determining eye colors in the petri dish, and then you're going to determine smarts. And like, a lot of people are scared about that kind of stuff. So it's interesting, but I don't get this, man. I don't understand the people that can't grow up and let their parents have such a hold on them.
Yeah.
To the point where you leave the doctor's appointment, the scan, and you're excited. And then you abandon someone that you've been married to for years.
Yeah. And the family, I feel so sorry for this woman. I feel so bad for her. And I think you have to take this for what it is, and that you married either a coward or a child. And unfortunately, this person is showing you who they are, regardless of, you know, what seed the mom is planting in his ear. The fact that he's listening and divorcing her and left her, that is so despicable to me. And I think that, like, her question is, what do I do? Like, you move on, I think. I know that's easier said than done, and I know that's the father of your child and maybe the love of your life, but this person is leaving because of something out of your control, and something that should be such a happy and celebratory moment in your lives. And they're obviously so influenced by their mom and their family's beliefs.
Yeah. I'm kind of at a loss for words with this one, and kind of to go off your point and exactly what you're saying. I'm glad that OP like kind of recognizes, because they go, I can't help but feel that this hasn't all been his choice, but then again, he's a grown-ass adult.
Exactly. He could say, Mom, kindly fuck off. And I'm going to go tend to my family now. You are so welcome to be a part of it, or not.
Yeah.
But also, here's my thought too, right? Like, let's just say she convinces him somehow to stick around. You now have this like what environment are you raising this baby girl in? Because to me, she's already been shunned by the family.
Yeah.
She won't be
accepted.
Rejected by the family. Yeah. So do you really want to raise her in this environment with, also, what kind of father figure is that?
No, I don't think anyone that's willing to abandon you over this, it's not just the fact he was upset. Okay, you talk to your mom and you realize, wait, okay, I did want a boy. I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, there is some validity in being sad. You're not getting the expected gender or the desired gender. I get that. You can be a little sad. I still think you're goofy, but I get it. But to then not even have a conversation with your wife, to block her, leave, and have the mom be the one communicating to your partner and saying, yeah, the divorce papers are getting dropped off.
Right. Coward. Have a conversation with this person. You married this person. You love this person. You decided to have a child with this person. You owe them that. Yeah. At the bare minimum.
And
I mean, what are they citing as reason for divorce?
Irreconcilable differences.
How? Like, you stand before a judge and you say, like, sir, I believe that, or sir, or ma'am, like, I believe that she dictated the gender of our baby and therefore I refuse to have a girl.
Judge is going to laugh this out of the courtroom.
Yeah.
Which is where exactly OP needs to go.
Yeah.
Take him for everything.
Yeah.
Get the max fucking child support you can. Live a cushy life. If he can afford to give that alimony and child support or whatever. But that's like the top comment on the Two Hot Takes subreddit thread too, is take him to court and get the child support that he owes you. He doesn't get to shake off his responsibility like that, which is what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to have a fresh slate.
Yeah.
He wants to go get married again and have a baby with a woman who's going to give him a boy. And I hope to God, if he gets married again and goes on to have other children, I hope every single one is a fucking girl.
I hope they're not. Because I don't want any more girls in this world to have a dad like that.
That is true, but like
you're like, fuck, I don't want any more girls to
but
feel.
Then they'll get nice adoptive dads like me and Jerry.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's best case.
Let's manifest that.
That is one situation. But
no, you're right.
You know what I mean?
I'm just like, I hate when people like this.
No, I hope he never has the blessing of a baby ever again.
That's better. Cheers to that.
Thanks.
That's the perfect solution.
No babies for you.
Fuck you.
Go adopt a puppy or something, and you can make that be a boy.
There you go. There you can.
When I was looking,
determine the sex.
When I was gonna adopt my dog, I got to hand select that bitch. I was like black and tan, male, big body boy, like crop the ears. I go to a breeder, like go get a puppy, sir.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdo. Like, he makes me so mad. We want more girl dads. He's not a girl dad.
He's not a girl dad, and that's why like Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Like I don't remember if it was before he passed or after, but the talk of a girl dad came up. I think it was before he passed, actually. And they were like, he's amazing. He coaches his daughter's basketball team. He blah, 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 blah. And everyone was like, there's, it's so sad. Kobe doesn't have a son, blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
no, he was so happy to have his daughters.
His daughters are incredible athletes too.
Yeah. It's so insane.
What?
And like, this makes me so sad because like, I know it reminds me how fortunate I am because I was the firstborn in my family, and I'm a girl, and my dad, obviously my parents got divorced, and I've talked about that when I was young, and they went for split custody, but my mom initially, because we were so young, went for full custody, not because my dad's a
Just
bad guy.
Stable, like one home.
Yeah, she was like, they're really young, like whatever. And my dad went to court and fought for split custody and was like, I want access to my daughter. I want access to my children. And so I think of that, how like there's dads out there who are real girl dads and will go to bat for their children, boy or girl. And then I think of this piece of shit who didn't want his baby girl and ran away.
Abandoned.
It's disgusting to me.
There is a little bit of an update and it's posted on the user's page. It's Brilliant Proud. And this is an account that was created in December of 2020. So it seems like this is someone's account. Like it wasn't created yesterday to post this story. Mm-hmm. And they go, thank you all for all the love. It means so much to me right now. I'd like to add that I've seen a few comments about my story being copied. It breaks my heart to think of anyone else having to go through something similar. Also, I should have mentioned originally that I had a gut feeling to record the call with my mother-in-law. So I have all of that on hand if it's needed in the future. I'm planning to try to catch my husband on his way out of work sometime next week. I'd like to hear his side of the story. I've decided, however, that if there is any saving our relationship, I'll be changing my last name back to my maiden name, and our daughter will be taking my last name, or at the very least, have a hyphenated name. Call me a feminist or whatnot, but it will be non-negotiable. I will also be requiring many boundaries between me and his mother, and she will not be in my child's life until she can find it in her to apologize to me sincerely and change her attitude towards us. You are being way too nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Grandma would be dead to me.
I'm a pretty
Husband
forgiving
might
person.
Be dead to me.
They would all be dead to me, but like I'm pretty forgiving. Too forgiving sometimes, and
same to a fault.
Yeah, to a fault.
I would say I have grown out of that a little bit.
Like less forgiving?
Yeah.
Really? Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
You learned. It took you a bit.
I've been burned a couple times.
It took you a bit.
I don't know if I'm there, but I get it from my dad. He's just like the most forgiving person in the world. But even how forgiving I am, I don't know if I would forgive the mother, honestly. No. It would be one of those things where I would forgive her for me, for myself. I'd be like, I don't want to hold on to this anger and this negativity, so I'm going to forgive you, but you do not get access to me and my daughter anymore. You don't.
No.
That's where I'd be like, I forgive you because your heart is so cold and you really need help, but you don't get access to my daughter. I'm sorry. You wanted nothing to do with her based off of who she was and the way she was conceived.
Yeah.
No. Unless you have some come to Jesus moment, you go to therapy, you work through your prejudice towards a baby girl. Yes, your misogynistic tendencies.
Yeah.
Maybe let's have a conversation in a couple of years when you've done the work, but you don't get access to us.
No.
Like, hell no. No. And that deadbeat dad, sorry, I'm like getting really heated. I just can't stand people who can't own up to their responsibilities and can walk away from their families. Especially on these terms. I think that's so disgusting. It's so sad to me that people can do this.
There's absolutely no excuse. There's no justification for this. There's no devil's advocating this. No. This is straight up terrible.
Yeah.
Horrendous. I mean, there's nothing else we can say except this guy is a piece of shit. And I hope he is blessed to not have any children.
Yeah, and I hope she grows up to be like the first like president of the United States who's a woman, and everyone's just like shitting themselves, and his family's like shaking in their boots, being like, that could have been our lineage.
Yeah.
She's gonna go on to do great things. I just know it. It'll
be interesting. I hope we keep getting updates on this. If you are a listener, I imagine you are because you posted on the Two Hot Takes subreddit. Please make sure to keep us posted. And then
And we are here for you.
Yeah.
We got your back on this one.
Yeah, seriously.